Hey there, internets. This is Kyle with another edition of the My Business Launch Secrets YouTube channel. We're on day 104 of one guy's journey from $0 to $1 million in starting a new online business and doing so part-time because I still got bills to pay and kids to feed. So I do have a day job. Keeps me busy during the day. I try to spend a little bit of time on the online business every day, at least doing some research or just planning, thinking through what I want to do is, again, still more or less for the stage I'm at now. These videos are more for my own accountability purposes, a video diary of sorts, so not per se exposing a bunch of great magical secrets in this journey, but putting some thoughts to the video of where I'm at this point in time, hoping that, once I reach that $1 million mark, that have something to be able to look back on and be able to see that I actually made progress in this journey on this particular activity that I've been working. So today was back at work in the day job, busy along those lines of just trying to get by every day. As I mentioned yesterday, I had to get up early for some meetings this morning, which were all kind of dumb and I don't think they'll really be fruitful, I guess, in the outcomes that we were looking for. And I just really hate doing meetings like that where there's no clear ROI. That's the word. Return on investment of my time. But it's a job and I don't always get to choose the meetings I get to go to. So I have to just, grit and bear these types of activities. Again, maybe at some point in the future I can be doing my own business full time, which is certainly the goal, and I can choose which dumb meetings I want to have or not have. Obviously there's always things you have to do in life in any line of work, whether you're employed by somebody else, you're self-employed, you're running a multi-million-dollar business yourself, you're the guy in charge, but there's still things you're going to have to do that just kind of suck. And that's just part of life, I guess. If everything was just, you just get to choose whatever you want to do every single day and live your life exactly on your own terms, well, maybe that would be kind of too easy. And what would be the point then of doing anything if you didn't actually have to go through difficult times and challenges to attain the goals, whether those be financial or personal or professional or whatever kind of goals you're talking about. If you didn't actually have to struggle to get it, then would you really even appreciate it once you had it? More of a philosophical question, I suppose. On a quick update on the day job situation, as I've mentioned, I am in the process of considering at least one other opportunity of a different job that I might conceivably I am interested in it. I guess it's just a matter of working through whether or not it's really the right fit and pays the right amount of money. Ultimately, that would make it worth making a transition to my day job. But there were a couple of interviews already, and had not heard back from the recruiter for a few days, which I was expecting to, and she got back to me today and just said she's still trying to coordinate for the next phase of things, and whatever the next guy I have to talk to is super busy or whatever and can't seem to keep a set schedule for whatever reason. She was finding it challenging to try to schedule it, and so it looks like it'll probably get pushed out the next week, which is fine. I mean, I guess it's kind of curious because this company that is doing the hiring, the job's been out posted for over a month, probably 6 or 8 weeks now, I guess. And they say that it's very much a job that's kind of in great need within the company because more or less the company's in a big growth phase, and so they've sort of had one person doing this particular role, which has been fine for now, but there's more work coming down the line, and the one guy can't possibly just handle it all, so they need to bring in somebody else to help offload some of the work he's doing, and the fact that it's a company of sufficient size. It's not a huge company, it's not a small business, but it's not huge, meaning they should be able to be relatively agile, be able to quickly move on bringing people on board within the company. Now, again, this role is a bit more of a strategic role, so sure, they don't probably want to rush into making just a quick rash decision on whoever they're going to choose, but again, at the same time, it seems to be something that they're really struggling and they really need some help in this particular area. I could provide that, or whoever they wanted to hire could provide that, but the fact that they're not stumbling over this themselves to try to, just get through the process and at least make an offer to somebody, because even when you get to that point, there's probably still going to be some back and forth negotiating final details. And then they're going to have to wait for like when would I actually be available to start, which in my case, it could be pretty quick because I wouldn't be physically moving. But if they were hiring somebody else that they did want to relocate, well, then that person might have to go through relocation. And so that's like another 6 weeks or whatever, just a process of working through that they'd have to wait on. All that to be said, in summary, hiring can take a long time, and they don't exactly seem to be wanting to push things too quickly, which I sort of expected they would, but whatever. I don't know exactly what their internal discussions are or whatever, but I'll just wait and see. More to come on that front. On the business side, I was sitting here after, going through emails and checking the finances and various things I do on a daily basis, and just thinking like, shit, I really do need to get back to whatever I'm going to do in this online business thing. And even though I've sort of toyed around just mentally of ultimately what type of business I really want to have, that again is something I'm passionate about, but I think that mechanism to be profitable, and just, I kind of, again, just internally have a dialogue of thinking about this thing or that thing. And then again, I play devil's advocate with myself and, come to the conclusion that, maybe that isn't really what I actually want to be doing full time, blah, blah, blah. So tonight just said, screw it. I just need to like do something at least to make some progress here. So I went back to the latest idea I had, which again is to leverage an existing YouTube channel I have with about 10,000 subscribers or so. It's kind of been dormant for like a long time, like 6 or 7 years, but reviving that, starting to build new content on that channel, starting to actually get a list going of people that are interested in that particular content, which is more of an educational type of channel based on some courses I've taught in the past, like physical, courses at university. And again, just going back to like, I should just roll this out and just like, again, start creating videos. Maybe if I, make a handful of videos and I just decide like it really sucks and I just don't want to do it, well, that's fine. But I haven't even got to that point yet, so I can't reasonably make a true data-informed decision, which is always preferable to making just emotionally based ones. So what did I do today? Well, I didn't make new content, but I did go over my graphics and make minor changes because, frankly, this is something I enjoy doing, and it's easy for me to get focused and actually say I've accomplished something, even though, sure, this is not helping me one bit in terms of starting to generate revenue. I understand that. You can tell me I'm an idiot in the comments below, but whatever. I'd actually come up with these graphics, I don't know, a month or so ago, but I just kind of went in and retweaked some of the colors and various things. So this is kind of the main logo of sorts. All the pieces in here are things that I just started to throw into other sort of variations, of graphics for social medias and that stuff, that type of stuff. But PhD Engineer is kind of will be the channel and the website. I already have the PhDengineer.com, but then the YouTube channel specifically I will go through a whole rebranding from what it is right now, which is very just personally my own name, to, again, something a little bit more generic, which is the PhD Engineer, educating your brain matter, giving you all the truths out there. Of course, if you got a website, you got to have a favicon. So this is my generic icon to use for the favicon, I don't know, whatever it is. A few variations. If you want a more horizontal version of that, you got that here. Slightly different sizes for different, the social platforms have all minor variations. What do we have? Facebook cover thing, I think it is. So you obviously, in the Facebook cover, you got a bigger area, although you typically don't only see the central part of it on smaller screens. So you want to be sure you get the main information in the center, and then I just put in some random graphical crap in the background to fill in the space. Here we got something similar. This is for, I think, the YouTube cover. Again, what you see here in the center is really all you will ever see if you're just looking at this channel on your phone or even on desktop. I don't even think you see this whole large area unless you were watching the YouTube channel on your TV, which I don't know if do people actually watch YouTube on their TV. I don't know. And then finally was going back over some course ideas I have. Again, this was back when I was really getting into using Thinkific and understanding how I can leverage Thinkific for building the courses and the membership program, etc. I'd come up with these 2 course ideas. Again, these are based on things I've taught in the past, so I figure, well, should be relatively easy, quick, whatever, for me to pull these together. But on these particular, I kind of changed up some of my original ideas, come up with a more uniform idea, keep the text, font, whatever the same. Really the only thing that's changing is this one graphical element to, again, try to highlight what the point of the course is, one being about electrical circuits, one being around solar cells. The other thing I was toying around with here was even something like, electrical circuits. You could break that down into various, you could make multiple courses instead of a general one for all of electrical circuits. But what I was thinking here was this one will truly be like just an introduction. So really high level, like not get into any detailed calculus based analysis that would have to be done. Keep this more like even middle school, high school level of electrical circuits understanding. I mean, this is sort of your electrical circuits for dummies kind of curriculum. And then maybe a separate one I could build off of this one would be, hey, if you're actually taking this in college and you need the more in-depth calculus-based analysis understanding, then that would be maybe a separate course. I think that's probably a good idea of doing that. Again, I could do a similar thing with the solar cell course. Make this one just, again, a really high-level introduction so you understand just some of the basics. Again, really appealing to more of a general audience that just has general interests, is not taking a course, is not needing to do this for their line of work, but just has general interest in understanding how solar cell works and making that course around that. And then again, having a separate one where will be more designed for engineers that are actually needing to do real mathematical analysis for those types of problems, I guess I might do that as an overall course plan. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, still don't have a lead generation funnel built specifically for this, business model. Again, haven't really settled on what I want to, how do I want to approach it. Again, previously I was really mapping out the full business plan of, have these courses that are selling for whatever, a few $100 each. But then on top of that, have some membership, if people need more specific guidance on a monthly basis, they could get that. But it was always a struggle for me to understand what I even put in a membership that people would actually want. So then I was going back to I just shouldn't even do any of that. I should just start making content. Yes, push people to a lead generation page. So again, I just start collecting contact info, build a list. And then once I kind of see what are people, more so paying attention to in my content, then I start to push whatever, a course or some membership. I mean, even on the YouTube channel, I guess one thing I could do that would be very easy is I think because of the number of subscribers that I have and whatever total views on the channel, YouTube will allow me to have a membership program through YouTube or something. I haven't looked into the details of it, but I've obviously seen other YouTube channels where you can pay the guy some amount of money and all you might get out of that is it could put a special icon by your comments or something, which to me seems kind of dumb and useless, but apparently people really like doing that to get some recognition that shows that they're contributing to this channel or something. And so obviously that would be zero work on my part. But if somebody wants to pay me $5 a month to get that extra privilege on my channel, sure, I'll take your $5 a month to do that. And again, maybe that's the start of a membership program. I mean, the YouTube membership is not the best because they take 25% cut off of those revenues as opposed to a lot of the others Patreon or whatnot only take 5% or less or something. Which, speaking of which, I thought about maybe I should just set up a basic Patreon page or something, which again, maybe I only have one thing that's $5 a month. But again, I don't know exactly what I would put on that page that would make it appealing to people to sign up for that. So I don't know. I guess I just haven't figured out what I want to do there exactly, but at least need to get my brain more in this mode back on. Again, I just got to put something out there. I got to get going and don't overthink it. As I've said in some of my past videos, my mental space has been a bit consumed by all this, not worry, but just unknown of, potentially switching jobs. And it would be a big change for me in the type of work I would be doing. And I guess I've more so been holding myself back in this online business stuff, kind of waiting to see how this plays out with my day job. And because ultimately I think if I decide to make, I don't have to do anything, but if I decide to make the switch to a different job, probably I want to be putting in every hour of additional time that I might have out of the general, daytime working hours devoted to being sure I can do make a good, first impression with the new job. Kind of along those lines, is going off on a random tangent, but that's what I do for these videos because there's no plan here. There's no agenda. I saw, I think, one of a YouTube short or something, Leila Hormozi, who's Alex Hormozi's wife. She had a short video where she was watching. I love people who do these stupid reaction videos, like they're watching some other YouTube video and then just telling you what they think about that other guy's video, like whatever. But anyway, I enjoyed it because I'm now telling you about it. She was watching, I forget the dude's name, but he's some big business mega millionaire type of person, and he was making a comment in some podcast that he was on or something about, I forget the detail, the way he explained it, but something more along the lines of every success he's found in his life has been a result of him choosing to do something that he did not know how to fully do when he first stepped into whatever that role was. And so Layla's comment in response to that video was like, yeah, that's exactly what I've done in my career. And again, she's partnered with Alex Hormozi on all the businesses he's been doing. So the success of Alex Hormozi's businesses has also been the success of Leila Hormozi and the work that she's put into the business, more on like operation side versus Alex is kind of more the marketing side of it, I guess. In any case, as she said, she's like, she always sought after jobs, before she got into doing her own business type of thing, always was seeking to get into jobs where she knew she did not know fully how to even do that job. But she knew that by going into those roles, it would force her, develop the skills, develop the traits, develop the, principles or whatever that are necessary to be successful in that new job that she has taken over. And as I thought about that a little bit, I was kind of realizing that I guess that is also what I've done in my own career, at least in my more recent career, I guess. I think I was pretty conservative early on. And frankly, as a little interesting story, the first like big job I ever applied for as I was nearing graduating with my bachelor's degree, there was some, of course, initial interview, but then, they bring everybody out for these like day-long interviews. You go and meet with a bunch of different managers, a bunch of different engineers, in my case, just talking about the work. And obviously they're asking me questions about what things I know. And, frankly, as I was talking to the engineers and the guys that were working there, and, they put you in front of like pretty senior level people and they're asking me these detailed technical questions. I'm like, shit, like I must be an idiot because I don't really know what you're talking about, even though I'm supposed to be a newly minted engineer, right? I guess I'm supposed to know this, but I just don't, so sorry. Anyway, after going through like several of those individual discussions, at the end of the day, during my little wrap-up interview with the main guy that was doing the hiring, I flat out told him, I was like, dude, I'm sorry for wasting your time, but I don't think I'm really qualified to, I don't remember exactly what I said, but something to the order of like, I don't feel like I'm really qualified for this job, and this probably isn't like the best fit for me. And again, that was just me feeling like very inadequate in what I think they were expecting out of me. Now, luckily, in that situation, he was a good manager in the sense he recognized that, he was putting me through that, I think, more just to give me some exposure to the type of work they do. It was not really about them evaluating me in any detail of like, do you know specifically how to do X, Y, and Z? Because as I've learned now, in being a manager and hiring people, what you're really looking for out of people is assessing whether or not that person has the capability of learning new skills, of adapting to challenging environments, et cetera, et cetera. It's not so much that you're coming into the job like being an expert in one thing. I mean, sure, there are some jobs where people are hiring in that way, but especially for like new engineers coming out of school, I mean, you've just been through some generic engineering program. You've learned a bunch of basics, but yeah, you haven't actually had to likely do a bunch of super detailed circuit analysis or whatever on like real world problems, aside from maybe one project or whatever that you did your senior year. And so anyway, they ended up hiring me still, even after I admitted that I was probably an idiot here, and so that was kind of the first job, is stepping into something where, yeah, it was just totally new. I mean, I didn't freaking know anything about anything. Well, at least that's what I felt like. But, I learned what I had to. And then in my first job, they wanted me to shift over to do something a little bit different in a different group. Again, didn't know anything about anything that was going on in that group. But again, just worked with the guys that were in the group, learned what I needed to learn, adapted to the new environment, so on and so forth. And then I went back to grad school, and there was this whole other set of challenges. But again, really every role after that, I've personally been through a career that I've shifted to doing different things over, every few years or so. I've not been one that's like only really been doing one thing for the past decade of my career, and I've just become such a super expert in that one thing. And not to say there's anything wrong with that. People that do that, that's fine. I've just, I guess, preferred to try different things. And so I've certainly, again, many times been put in situations, whether I was actively seeking them or I was just asked to kind of do them in some new role, where, again, I came into the role like knowing very little about whatever that group was doing, but maybe I'm being asked to lead the group now, to come up with a new vision, a new plan, a new strategy, whatever the case is. So very quickly, you just have to learn what you can, and accept that you're not an expert in whatever that group's been doing, because all the guys in that group have been doing it for a decade or more, or whatever the case is. But guess what? They work for you now. I mean, in my situation. So you can just go ask them, like, what's the big deal? And so I guess I felt encouraged by just watching this one little dumb YouTube video on the YouTube's redundant, but that again, these multi-bajillionaires people are saying that this at least was the way to their success, and so maybe that means be helpful to me in, again, pushing out towards this whole online business thing, which again is a totally new thing for me. I have no prior experience. I'm just trying to figure out what the best path forward. But also in my day job, taking on this new role, it's going to be very different and will challenge me in many ways. And again, that's part of the allure of why I even want to do it, because I'm not challenged, at least not in the ways I want to be in my current job. So anyway, that was a bit of a rambling there for the day. I'll leave it with that. So hope you're all doing well. Keep on kicking ass, taking names, and I'll see you next time. Peace.